number of exercises, basically exercises about editing and grammar exercises. Also, we're going to have a topic prompt. يعني ايه the name of the site؟ مش الويب-سايت address. The name of the site يعني ده University of Virginia. Sorry. ده learning center. ده writing center of the University of Virginia. فله اسم number of exercises, basically exercises about editing and grammar exercises. Also, we're going to have a topic prompt. Okay? And we're going to handle that topic prompt, essay topic prompt, from different perspective, i.e. from different types of essays. يعني one time I'll write that specific essay topic as a cause and effect, the same topic. And another time I'll write it from the perspective of an argumentative and an opinion essay, and so on and so forth. So let's start with our first part of the class. What is this? Your TMA. Did you go through it? I asked you last time to prepare the 2 resources that you're going to use for the TMA. Did you? يعني أول حاجة I would do as a student is that I will settle my mind on the topic. We have 2 topics, right? I'll settle my mind on the topic that I want to discuss. The first one is this, and the second one is this. صح? First question that should come to your mind is, how long is that TMA? In the sense, how many words or how many paragraphs am I supposed to write? He's saying here, proposed word length is 600 to 800, right? How long is 600 to 800? How long? It's around 2 pages, i.e. around 6 to 7 paragraphs. صح? 6 to 7 paragraphs. Don't ask me how long is the paragraph. A paragraph should be a well-developed paragraph with a central main idea, and the rest is supporting ideas. Of course, because we're using 2 sources, we need to integrate quotations from these references. يعني ايه quotation? Where the pens? يعني ايه quotations? What's the meaning of this word? What's the meaning of quotations? We took an essay in the argumentative unit that has to do with plagiarism and cheating, صح? And we spent some time explaining the meaning of the word plagiarism. يعني ايه plagiarism? يعني ايه؟ It's some sort of cheating. يعني ايه plagiarism? Plagiarism.
Copying someone's words without.
Who's that someone?
The original poster.
A writer?
Or the author.
An author? A scientist?
A journalist.
صح? Or a journalist. Anybody who came up with a documented piece of writing. That documented piece of writing, yes. You're violating copyrights when you do plagiarism. يعني ايه documented piece of writing? He published that in a journal, or in a periodical, or in a book, or even online. So he's the author and the sole author of these ideas. These are his properties. That's why we say that when you plagiarize, you violate copyrights. يعني ايه violating copyrights? حقوق الطبع, which is not yours. You're not the author. The mistake of the students who commit or do plagiarism. What do they do, ya Maryam? What do they do?
Just copying and pasting the words without the citation or
without
preparing
citation.
links.
Perfect. أنا عندي TMA, صح? If you remember the essay, it was saying students are busy and they don't have a free time, so the easiest thing they can do is that to buy off ready-made essays from the internet or to copy and paste. صح؟ خلاص? I found 2 or 3 articles that are related to the topic I'm discussing or writing about. هاخد copy and paste. Here at the university we have a system which is the Turnitin system. You know the meaning of Turnitin? يعني ايه Turnitin? Hand it in and your TMA or your paper is going to be dissected into different colors. Each color refers the tutor to the percentage of the exactly copied text. ويوديني على الويب سايت from which you copied the text. We allow 20 to 30% of plagiarism to show on your paper. ليه؟ because كلنا بنستخدم نفس ال PT3 form. الفورم الكفر بيج كلنا بنستخدم نفس الفورم دي. كلنا هنستعملها. صح؟ ده cover page, that these topics and so on, the instructions for the topic, the references and so on. So 3 pages are almost the same because we're using the same document on the posted on the LMS. صح؟ طب how about the rest? The rest indicates to your tutor where did you exactly copy these parts from. And you end up with a high percentage of plagiarism that goes up to 80 or 70 or even 90. And you end up with a very poor mark or even a failure. So how can we avoid plagiarism? Basic thing as a tutor I want you to do is that I want to listen to your arguments. I want to hear you. I want to hear your voice arguing about any of the selected topics. يعني arguing. I don't want to see your paragraphs crammed. مش هي قالت use 2 resources every single بقى 2 lines في resource في quotation, and so I don't want that. I just need you to voice your argument, and only I repeat, when you feel like I want to support this idea by a piece of another argument or statistics, proven statistics, you use the reference, okay? يعني I don't want you to use more than 1 quotation per paragraph, or else your paragraph will be very much crammed, and I don't want to see that. Again, يعني ايه quotation? Quoting means overcoming all of that. Overcoming all what Mariam has said. يعني ايه؟ hi أيمن. Nice seeing you. يعني ايه؟ Overcoming plagiarism, so I will claim, I will mention, I will give credit to the writer whom I used his words. Do you know Dr. Manar? Of course we all know her, صح? What does she teach? Yes, the course code is El117. Suppose what's the situation? Anything that we study is very logical, and it duplicates or actually mirrors our real life. Do you remember the example of the hadsa, of the accident that we started our course with? In order to know that a news announcer or a news anchor uses the same sequence and logical progress of an essay. Now let's focus on Dr. Manar and myself. I have a class, and then Dr. Manar thought about scheduling another makeup class for her El120 class at the same time. خلاص? So you came to my class, some of you study with her El120, and you said, لا we will not be able to attend your class عشان دكتور منار قالت اني في class. That's one option. So we will not attend because Dr. Manar said that there will be another class of El120. That's an option. What did you do here in that example? You refer to the one who originally produced the words or gave you the piece of news, صح? Look at the second example. متأخرين ليه؟ خش بسرعة. ده مش بسرعة. Look at this. لا, we will not attend because we have an El120 class. What's the difference between the two examples? Because Dr. Manar said that we have another EL120 class, and because we have another EL120 class. What's the difference in your opinion? Yes, Idal, give her the mic. Hand it to her. Idal, yes.
The differences is that one is...
Turn it on, please. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Okay.
The differences is that the first one is quoting what Dr. Manar said.
Referring
to what she said.
Referring. يعني ايه referring? I am referring to my source. Because on the second example, I will promptly, automatically ask you. مين قال كده؟ صح؟ This is the same slight, or not slight, this is the same huge difference between plagiarism. I took the same message or the same exact words mentioned in an article, and I did not refer to the writer's name, صح? And when you use quotations, i.e. you give credit to the writer of the message, to the writer of the article, or the producer of that scientific report. Can you see the difference? It's very logical. Why are we using quotations? Because we want to avoid incorporating or using a writer's or a scientist's or an author's article without referring to his name and making the reader imagine that they are purely ours. لا, they are not purely ours. خلاص؟ So, أول ما هسمع منكم that second example we will not attend because we have an EL120 class. I will start investigating and interrogating you the way I interrogate or investigate after I see all these color coding on the TMA referring me to different websites from which you copied exactly the words of people who publish their works. أول ما هسمع كده هقول لك إيه ده؟ مين قال كده؟ صح؟ مين؟ So I'm asking about who said that؟ صح؟ Or who wrote that? So I'm asking about that. The mean. حلو قوي. لسه. There are other questions to come. I will also ask you. إمتى ده حصل؟ صح؟ When I ask إمتى ده حصل, I'm asking about the context. صح؟ صح؟ So when I refer this question to the article, هو إمتى that article or that book was published. صح؟ So publication. مين اللي قال ده وإمتى ده حصل؟ أوكي؟ الأكتر بقى. هي قالت إيه بالظبط؟ صح؟ What did she exactly say? When I say what did she exactly say, I'm asking about the exact words, i.e. the exact quotation, i.e. the authentic words she came up with. Logical, very logical, صح? That's exactly the type of information that we need for our in-text citation. How is that? We need this. Remember that we have to use two resources. Did you collect the resources? I asked you to collect and settle your mind on the resources that you find very beneficial. يعني ال two articles اللي هتستعملهم on any topic. ما ينفعش اكتب على ال two topics. I'll have to select one topic only and focus on the discussion, the detailed discussion of that topic. Did you? Yes? Which one? Online learning. Did you have your resources? Yes? Most of you. No. ماشي. أنا هوريكم. خلاص؟ بصوا بقى. Hey guys. This presentation, quoting and citation is available for you on the LMS. In case you forget any detail that you need to follow, you open that presentation and follow it to the letter. Look at this. بص. one, the original quotation. What are these guys? شايفينها the very, what do we call them? What do we call them? ليهم اسمهم ايه؟ Inverted commas. What's the difference between the inverted commas and the rounded brackets? I know that these are very slight details واحنا مالنا بالinverted commas ولا rounded brackets. But these are very, very important and they have, each one has a different function and we need to know the difference in order to know how do we use them. I'll wipe out that. Do you remember the direct and indirect speech? صح? The quotation resembles to a greater extent the direct and indirect speech. When I have a direct statement, I usually put the statement said by somebody between the inverted commas, صح? And when I turn that direct speech into an indirect speech by saying, Dr. Manar said that, or Dr. Manar told us, I remove the quotation marks, okay? So the first thing I need to do in order to give credit to the writer of that piece of 2 lines or piece of article, whatever, I'm using these lines form, I'll put his exact words between 2 inverted commas. There's something has to come before and something has to come after. These are the rounded brackets. Logically speaking, what do I have to state before starting the quotation? يعني أقول ده دكتور منار قالت. ده دكتور منار قالت means according to Dr. Manar, according to Sir معرفش إيه, according to Richard Wilson, whatever, whoever the writer of the article, right? What's the name of Dr. Manar? The full name? Dr. Manar. Look at this. According to Dr. Shalabi, I started the quotation by opening 2 inverted commas. I put the quotation that I really need, that really supports my idea, and it will enforce the meaning that I am communicating to the reader. Once I finish the quotation, I put a full stop and then I close the inverted commas. هي دكتور منار اسمها ايه؟ دكتور منار شلبي صح؟ Why did I mention Shalabi? Why didn't I start with according to Dr. Manar? Because in in-text citation, and as we're gonna see in a minute in works cited page, we deal with the surname of the writers. We deal with the surname of the writers. The surname يعني ايه? The last name. Do you understand? If I have another writer with the name Rachel Raffle, for example, I will use Raffle. Imagine in Dr. Manar دي I'm using more than one reference she wrote. يعني ايه? You cannot see me in that corner. Mariam and Minna, come over here. You cannot see me from that corner. Dr. Manar wrote more than one article, صح? So if I tell my reader according to Dr. Manar only and full stop, the reader will not be able to understand which article of the 2 articles written by Dr. Manar I'm referring to. يعني أنا واخد الكوتيشنز دي من أنهي article, صح؟ حلو قوي. شايفين الراوندد brackets بعد إيه؟ inverted commas. لو دكتور منار she wrote only one article of the 2 articles that I'm using, I have to state the page number in the rounded brackets. السؤال اللي دايما بتسأل اكتب page, اكتب fee, ما تكتبش اي حاجة except the page number. طب let's assume that Dr. Manar I'm using 2 articles written by her. يعني I have the same author, but that same author came up with 2 articles, and I found that these 2 articles are directly related to the discussion I am developing in my essay. صح؟ تعالي. In this case بقى, what will I do? In this case I have to indicate between the rounded brackets the title of the article I'm using. So, according to Dr. Monod, start the quotation. You want to close the quotation, close the brackets, the inverted commas, start the brackets. Any article, which article of the two articles? The road to success, underlined. The articles are underlined. Page كام؟ 13. طيب هحط full stop between the title of the article and the page number؟ لا. احط comma؟ لا. احط semicolon؟ لا. It's the title of the article underlined and immediately the page number. تمام؟ clear؟ طيب انا بقى I don't wish you're very late, extremely late. اتفضلي. That's one way of documenting, صح? i.e. mentioning the name of the writer, giving credit to him or her so that I avoid plagiarism, صح? But what if I don't want to mention the name of the writer before I start my quotation? أعمل إيه؟ أعمل إيه if I choose يعني الquotation بتاعته as if the quotations were an integral part of my sentence. Actually, if I interrupt my sentence and the quotation with according to, شكلها وحش قوي. What will I do? Is there a solution for that? Yes, Idal.
You can state the author's name at the ending of the quotation.
فين الending ده بقى؟
Where it finishes.
Has a rounded brackets. Rounded brackets ده it's a magical thing for us. يعني أنا these are my sentences all along. I started my quotation because it's a common say, it's a statistical thing that needs to be part of this specific sentence. And I don't want to interrupt my sentence or the flow of argument by referring to the author's name. هعمل إيه؟ لا, don't worry, it's part of your sentence and just indicate that they are the words of another author by putting the exact words between the inverted commas. طب هعمل ايه في المعلومات اللي انا عايزه احطها؟ السؤال الاول is he the author or the writer of the two articles ولا لا؟ لا, هو he's an author of one article. خلاص. What did I do? I mentioned the name of the author of that article لأن there are no other articles by the same author and the page number. لا, بس I have a different case. He is the author of the two articles I'm using. So how would I distinguish and tell my reader that this specific quotation is from that specific article? You will write and you will, thank you dear, you will indicate the quotations. Are you done with the غياب? When is he leaving now? When is he leaving? عيديهم according to the غياب please. Okay, are you done with the warning? We're done. This is our task. Thank you dear. طيب. This is the flow of my argument. Yes, we're gonna see that in a minute. استني. This is the quotation, صح? Dr. Manar, or actually the surname Dr. Shalabi, has two articles. Logically speaking, هكتب between the rounded brackets. Of course, the page number, it's a fixed thing. يعني I cannot change the fact that I need to refer to the page number, صح? But Dr. Shalabi has two articles that I am using. So logically speaking, هحط between the rounded brackets اسمها ولا اسم مين؟ اسم الارticle. It's logical because she's the sole author of the two articles I'm using. She's the only author I'm using the articles for. So it goes without saying that this in this case حط اسم ايه؟ underline. وفي quotation تاني from the second article written by Dr. شلبي وكمان هاخد الquotation دي as integrated into my sentence just indicated by the use of inverted commas. يبقى هحط ايه between the rounded brackets? The title of the second article. The road to success 2 مثلا. And page 13 whatever the title is. Do we understand? يلا نراجع. يلا نراجع. يعني ايه quotations؟ لا مش معقول. That's a question by the way. يعني ايه quotations؟ يلا يا كريم. You can do it, you can do it. يلا يلا يلا. يلا with the microphone يلا صوتك حلو. يعني ايه quotations؟ يعني ايه quotations؟
A part of article as a resource in between inverted commas
ايه؟ A part
of an article
yes.
or a resource
Lines. A number of lines.
between inverted commas.
ليه بحطهم between two inverted commas؟ أيوة. Thank you.
Because I don't want to interrupt my مثلا essay or whatever with the author name and
You're talking
quotation.
about a specific case, but I'm talking generically. Why do I put the words used from this article or the lines used from this article between two inverted commas بسرعة? To give credit to the writer. And by giving credit to the writer, I avoid plagiarism. يعني ايه plagiarism؟ يعني ببساطة أنا سارق كل الكلام اللي هو مش كلامي وحطه integrated into my essay, fooling the reader, violating copyrights by making the reader believe that these are my authentic words which are not. تمام؟ طب why do I have to do that? Because yes, you're allowed to support your argument by the use of statistics, scientific findings, certain pieces of arguments by another major writer or a major critic, yet you have to give him his credit. صح؟ So ده معنى quotations. السؤال الثاني, how do we indicate quotations? In our essay, we use what? Two inverted commas. صح؟ What's the difference between the inverted commas and the rounded brackets? ايه بنحطه هنا وايه بنحطه هنا؟ يلا يا منا you can do it. يلا wake up. What's the difference between inverted commas and يلا and rounded brackets? اوكي هاتي يبقى قابليني لو مسكت الميكروفون ده تاني. هاتي فاطمة do you want to go؟ يلا سو up to it. انت يا سو يلا بسرعة. What's the difference?
Here, write the sentence.
Here I put the exact sentences I chose to include from the article of the writer in support of my argument. صح؟ طيب هدى. How about the rounded brackets?
It's for his name and the pages and things like that. Reference to the
حلو قوي. يعني ايه؟ الديتيلز of the source that I am using. صح؟ يعني ايه الديتيلز بتاع الريفرنس that I'm using؟ والله in case you did not mention the name of the writer first هتحطه في rounded brackets and a fixed thing is going to be the page number. صح؟ والله if you're using the same author but different articles of the same author هتحط between brackets اسم ايه؟ the title of the article underline وطبعا البيج number. صح؟ والله if you wanted to mention and usher and point to the writer's name at the beginning هتحط only between the rounded brackets ايه؟ the page number. سؤال cases بقى. أول case, if I decide to mention the writer's name by saying according to, as mentioned by, as discussed by. كل دي ushering phases to the fact that after this immediately I'm going to use a quotation. زي ايه؟ as discussed by Dr. Shalabi, as mentioned by Dr. Shalabi, as stated by, according by, thank you, according to Dr. Shalabi. ايه حكاية دكتور شلبي؟ ما اسمهاش شلبي، اسمها دكتور منار، صح؟ Why am I using Shalabi and not Dr. Manar? Because I deal with the surnames of the writers, not their first names. Clear? I decided to mention or to usher or point to the writer's name before I start the quotation. هحط الquotations هنا، صح؟ هحط ايه بقى between the rounded brackets بعد الquotations؟ Only the page number. ده in case Dr. Shalabi has, bravo عليكم. In case she has more than one article, bravo عليكم. I will mention the article's title underlined, صح? Second case. I don't want to mention or to point to the writer's name because this interrupts the flow of the arguments. يعني ايه؟ أنا عايز ال quotations دي in form of statistics, common say, أي حاجة تبقى part of the sentence. This will give it power and emphasis and strength. بس برضو هحط كلام الرايتر between two inverted commas. So these are my words, two inverted commas. خلاص بقى يعني writer's name ما كانش في الأول. So what will I do? The author's name, in which case, if this is the writer of, حلو قوي. In case she wrote or he wrote the two articles I'm using, يبقى the title of the article underlined and a fixed piece of info is the page number. سهل؟ The change is that I did not mention his name before I start the quotation. Okay? Clear? حلوة. Are we on the same page? طيب ثانية واحدة بقى. When I as a reader, not only as a reader, as a grader for your TMAs, as a reader for your TMA, it seems and sounds clear that you're using references and you refer to these references within the essay that you produce. I have to see something called works cited page. يعني ايه works cited page? Whatever بقى. It's not only the website. It could be the websites, the books, the magazines, the art. It could be a hard copy thing. مش لازم تكون an online thing. صح؟ اللي انت what you have mentioned inside your essay, as part of your essay, I need to see a documentation of that. What we call works cited page. اهي. This is a typical TMA cover page, صح؟ والtopics والinstructions recommended references. If I'm smart enough, I will try any of these articles and we're gonna see that in a minute. وهشوف إذا كانت directly related and I can use it to support my argument or not, صح؟ If not, I can come up with my own resources. Mind you, they are all A. What type of resources are these? Books, magazines, journals, they are all online resources. So mostly we'll be using online resources, whether I came up with or use any of these recommended websites. Okay? And as students, I'm you. Okay? خلاص وبعد الجايدلاينز وبصيت كويس قوي على الجايدلاينز and I followed the guidelines والrubrics. How would I mark your TMA. Mind you, you have to write an outline. أنا as a student in this case I will not be writing outline قبلها. I'll be writing إيه؟ اسمه إيه ده؟ Thank you very much. A reversed outline. يعني إيه؟ I came up with a draft وغيرته. I came up with another draft and I polished it. I came up with a third draft of my essay. خلصت كل حاجة. I edited, I proofread, checked the spelling mistakes. وخلي بالكم من حاجة غريبة قوي. This is something that really provokes me. هو احنا we submit the TMA as a typed document or a handwritten document. حلو قوي. So we use the computer. صح. Supposedly the computer is a smart machine. صح ولا مش صح؟ He underlines الحاجات الانكوركت. لا بقى هسيبها لها زي ما هي. يا ابني respond to the machine. Just right click. ناقصة E, ناقصة رجل, ناقصة I. See the spelling checker that run a spelling checker. This is really provocative. ليه بقى؟ Because the machine helps you and you don't want to help yourself and you lose marks. Okay? If I were in your shoes, I would write a reversed outline. يعني إيه؟ I would write a number of drafts integrating the two resources that I came up with and I find very useful. وبعديها أكتب a reversed outline. By the way, you did a lousy job with your outlines on the TMA. خلاص؟ I am you. وخلاص بقى هكتب الاسي بتاعي. هكتب الاسي بتاعي ازاي هنا؟ A new page. And I started my essay. I chose smoking. مش عارفة. I don't remember exactly the question prompt and so on. Smoking. I wrote my essay هنا كتير. Essay. Paragraphs. فيها ال in-text citation that I was discussing in a minute and so on. خلصت الاسي بتاعي that ran for. How long is my essay? In page size. How long? Optimally 2 pages, approximately 7 to 8 paragraphs, because the rubric said that the word length is from 600 to 800. خلاص؟ وأنا ذكي because the tutor told me that I want to listen to your argument. يعني إيه I want to listen to your argument? يعني I don't want to cram my paragraphs or my essay with excessive use of quotations. I want to listen to, حتى لو أنت عملت لي proper in-text citation for this quotation. لا, I want to listen to your argument. يعني إيه argument؟ يعني what do you have to say about this topic? Your voice, okay? خلاص, I'm done with the essay and this is the end of my essay on a totally separate sheet of paper. في نفس الدوكيمنت I will write exactly this. Write down, guys. Oh, what is that? Works cited, okay? Usually the works cited page is divided into primary sources and secondary sources. يعني ايه primary sources? Yes, يعني for example, if I'm studying like the course of the short story that we study together, we have primary sources, the short stories that we are critiquing, the short stories that we're using to analyze them or to critique them and so on. But in this case, I have only secondary resources, صح? Right? This is the most important page in your life until you get done with the TMA. Please hand over copies to your colleagues. You too. Hand over copies. يلا يا جماعة. سمعين. This is, they will circulate papers. Are we running out of copies? Yes? Do you have them? عايزاها ليه يعني؟ ما تسيبيها. Thank you. Anybody who did not receive a copy? Again, I repeat, this is a very important page in your lives. A very important one. What is this? Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, dear. What is this? It starts with the title MLA, Formatting and Codes. MLA ده? It's an acronym that stands for Modern Language Association. What do we study? Do we study business? Do we study IT? We study language. So it goes without saying that the documentation style that we use has to do with the association of language that we study. صح? Not a Harvard Business School documentation study style, because this belongs to business and so on. Why is this page is very important in our lives until we get done with the TMA? Because it takes you thoroughly, step by step, to finalize this page that we were talking about, works cited. How is that? It tells you about the way to document an entire book. Suppose I did not use any of the internet sources. I found the book downstairs in the library and I found it very useful. خلاص? And that book is written by one author, in the sense that it is not an edited book. Do you know the difference? How many names do we have on this book? 2. So we have 2 authors, okay? It's not edited. 2 authors, not 1 author. طب هعرف منين ان الكتاب ده edited؟ بيبقى مكتوب عليه edited by. يعني ايه edited؟ انا برضو still don't know يعني ايه edited. يعني we have a number of writers contributing to that book. يعني ايه؟ I have a number of 9 or 10 or even 15 writers. Each one wrote one article. I have compiled these. I have compiled all these articles together as an editor وكتبت introduction and a preface to the book. But the book is not solely composed by me. يعني I'm not the writer who wrote all these articles. تمام? What if I found one book written by one author? How would I document it? أهو إحنا how do we deal with any author? We deal with the author with the surname. هو قال لك surname, you follow that. يعني ايه you follow that؟ هو حط هنا كوما هحط هنا كوما، وحط هنا full stop هحط full stop، حط semi colon هحط semi colon. the last name بعديها ايه؟ غلط، بعديها كوما. the last name بعديها I'm on page 65 بعديها comma, and then the first name بعدها غلط full stop, because I'm done with the unit. بعد ما بخلص كل unit احط full stop. ايه الunit that I'm done with? the unit of the name of the writer. تمام؟ and then the title of the book. Is it underlined? It's in italics. Thank you very much. It's not underlined. The title of the books, the title of any book that you're using is not underlined. It's in italics. You know the meaning of italics? Exactly. بعدها full stop. حاجة بقى أنا مش فاهماها خالص. Place of publication, publisher, year of publication. إيه دي؟ يعني إيه place of publication؟ فاكرين when I was giving you the example بتاع دكتور منار وبقول لكم who said that؟ فبتقولوا دكتور منار. When? Where? At her office. Where indicates the location. صح؟ يعني this book is published by مين أكسفورد ده؟ place of publication؟ لا. It's the publisher. The publishing house اسمه Oxford. I know that Oxford is a جامعة. بس Oxford is a publishing house. Do you understand? طب أجيب these details منين؟ من على الcover page؟ لا. من على حاجة اسمها the title page. اهي. موجودة في كل كتاب، شايفينها دي دايما بتيجي immediately after the cover page. بيقول لك ايه؟ بيقول لك ان ده اوكسفورد يونيفرسيتي بريس، ده اسم الببلشر، وان هو it's published in يعني ايه NY in نيويورك. لا لسه ما جبتش الديت اوف publication. my goodness اهو شايفينه 2006. can you see it? it's written by fine letters. okay 2006 يعني ايه؟ طب وانا I don't care يعني، ما هو الكتاب هو الكتاب وخلاص يعني I will state the author's names وخلاص. لا، هو each year a new modified edition could be released of that same book. Even worse, we can make other writers to contribute to the compilation or the writing of that book. يعني ايه؟ انا واخد الانفورميشن دي من الاديشن بتاعت 2006 اللي هي written by these specific authors. Had I been using the edition of 2000 it would have been a different case. ليه؟ عشان الاوثرز بتوع 2000 only ماتوا. You understand؟ ماتوا. that's why in 2006 حطوا authors جداد. وكمان البيج نمبرنج مختلف. ليه؟ عشان عملوا modification and the 2006 they added other parts. فبقى في page numbering مختلف. I have to indicate to my reader which edition, which year, and who's the publisher, and definitely who is the author. How would I proceed؟ زي ما البيبر دي بتقول لك. أول حاجة هقول the place of publication. In this case, where is the place of publication? New York. بعدها you don't have it. بعدها لا كولن. بصوا كويس، بعدها كولن وبعديها the publisher. In this case who's the publisher? Oxford. بعد Oxford هحط لا comma and then 2006 and then برافو عليك. ليه ما حطيتش فول ستوب بعد ال place of publication ولا بعد ال publisher؟ ليه؟ لأن this unit of the details of publication is not done yet. Why do I insist بعدها ايه بعدها ايه؟ You have to follow to the letter. هو حط هنا فول ستوب تحط فول ستوب، وحط هنا سيمي كولن تحط كولن، وحط فول ستوب تحط فول ستوب. Do you understand? Do you understand, guys? طيب let's do something that has to do with the electronic sources. I'm quite sure that most of your resources will be electronic. يعني ايه electronic websites؟ بصوا بقى. There is a thorny issue about the electronic, مش thorny issue, there is an issue about the electronic resources. ليه؟ عشان sometimes I have a full written article with an author's name, صح؟ و sometimes I find a very useful article but the author's name is not mentioned. يعني ايه is not mentioned؟ يعني هو موجود على the website of the online writing lab. عارفين ال OWL؟ the online writing lab. A very useful article. ما اعرفش مين اللي كاتبه بس هو موجود على الدومين بتاع OWL. A very useful article لقيته على the University of Virginia Writing Center. Very useful. بس ما اعرفش مين اللي كاتبه. So sorry guys. I had more tissues. I did. So sometimes I have this type and some other types I have this type. هو بيقول لك how do I document an electronic resource in case the name of the author is not known. But I found this article on a very trusted a very trusted website. يعني ايه very trusted website؟ يعني ما اخدش article طبعا I use as a research keyword عند جوجل صح؟ ما اخدش article جنبيه الحاجات البوب ابس اللي بتطلع دي. You know the pop-up messages اللي هو مش عارفه heart ومش عارفه نجوم وحد يطلع to chat with you. This is not a trusted article صح؟ Website. So what do you mean by a trusted website? An article that is affiliated to a university or a journal or some sort of a publication or even a specific periodical that you know of. التايمز الفاينانشال تايمز التايمز ماجازين الفاينانشال تايمز الحاجات دي انا